1 year ago, Dr. Christian's feeding clinic opened its doors to 8 Supersizes and 8 Superskinnies. For the first time, we brought them together to confront their disastrous eating habits.
I'm always getting told that I should eat more pies.
You should, but you shouldn't eat as many as I do.
Tonight, we're revisiting Superskinny Hayley Payne and Supersizer Geoff Milton, whose dreadful diets were laid bare when they each entered the feeding clinic.
I like the taste of a bacon sandwich. Bacon and egg, bacon and tomato. Bacon, egg and tomato.
Tea and sugar addict Hayley wasn't a fan of food.
Food completely takes a back seat in my life.
Unlike bread binger Geoff.
Probably 4 or 5 slices of bread, maybe 6 sometimes.
Who faced up to a frightening possible future in America.
You get the infection, you end up losing the whole leg.
1 year on, have the disastrous diets gone for good?
I love eating now. I've got so much more energy than I did before.
Plus, we'll be looking back at Dr. Christian's visit to Evansville, the city that topped the polls in 2011 as America's fattest.
And all of a sudden I heard this crunch, you know, and then this gush of blood.
For an alarming picture of what might be the future for us here in the UK if we don't change our ways. One year ago, Dr. Christian travelled stateside to the city of Evansville, Indiana. This bulging city has a population of over 117,000, and almost 38% of them were classed as obese.
Do you think this is a losing battle?
Sometimes it feels like a losing battle.
Dr. Christian witnessed the struggles that come with being grossly overweight.
Did you ever imagine you'd need all of this?
Sometimes I wish I didn't have all this fluid, because it does cause a lot of problems.
And spent time with those who are trying to tackle the problem from within their community.
All right, so we've got God in our souls, our spirits. Is everybody ready to work out? Yeah!
The Deaconess Hospital in Evansville is at the forefront of the fight against fat. This state-of-the-art facility houses its very own weight loss surgery centre and a bustling diabetes unit. With over a third of patients overweight or obese, they've got their work cut out. Obesity-related heart problems are all too common, and today Carmelo Ramos, who weighs 28.5 stone, has been rushed in.
Mr. Ramos came in with some chest pain, so they want to do a screening for any significant blockages in the heart arteries.
To find out how well Carmelo's heart is functioning, he needs to have a cardiac stress test. Usually this would be done using a treadmill, but due to Carmelo's size, the doctors have to do an alternative procedure.
Dr. Moore's come in to administer the drug that's going to speed up our patient's heart. This will stimulate the effects of exercise so he can assess how the heart is functioning when it's working hard.
Now, this may make your heart speed up even more, okay? Don't be alarmed.
Carmelo's heart is now beating at the rate it would be if he were running.
His blood pressure is 235 over 117. I just went to 40 mics of W.
Blood pressure of 235 or 117. It's getting on for fairly high. So you can see now on the screen, his heart is really banging away. Patient's not very comfortable because it's quite an anxious feeling, this.
Despite the chest pains, Carmelo's heart is functioning normally.
Can you rate your pain for me right now, 0 to 10?
Oh, God, it's a 9.
However, for some, obesity has more permanent consequences. Next, Dr. Christian's visiting patients in the hospital's wounds clinic. In the US, over 25 million people suffer from type 2 diabetes, which can lead to chronic wounds like foot ulcers. Between 14 and 24% of diabetic patients who develop foot ulcers end up having an amputation.
I got out of the tub and all of a sudden I heard this crunch, you know, and then this gush of blood.
Oh.
Anyway, I went to the emergency room and they told me that I had crushed my bones in my heel. So they had to cut it off because the bones had got so infected, bacteria in them.
What do you think caused all of this in you?
My diabetes.
What about things like lifestyle and weight and diet and stuff like that? How's that been for you? Oh dear, that's a giveaway. That giggle.
Yeah, I was eating my sweets and when I wasn't supposed to.
So you were putting on weight and eating naughty things?
Yeah.
So how heavy were you then at your biggest?
299 was my heaviest.
So that's quite a lot.
Yes.
Those were bad days.
Yes.
But not now.
No.
You're going to get it together.
Yeah. Because I look at it like this. I have a 13-year-old child, and I'd rather be without a leg than dead. Because I know gangrene could set up, anything could have really happened badly. So it's like God is giving me a second chance.
Taiwan is only 48, which in medical terms is very young. And for me, the really sad part is the fact that actually all this could have been prevented if Taiwan had only managed her weight and her diabetes better early on. But now, there's no going back.
Dr. Christian's bringing the lessons he's learned in Evansville back to Britain as he tackles dietary crimes at both ends of the scale. He's sizing them up before he pairs them off and offers them a table for two at his feeding clinic.
So, Rob, come forward. And I want to match you up with Hayley.
Oh yeah, all right.
Meet you. I'm sorry, but I've never met anyone as big as yourself. You've got bigger boobs than I am.
I think she was a bit shocked, the size of me. I was a bit shocked with the size of her. You could see the bones from the back and the sides.
Rob and Hayley may be the same age and height, but when it comes to their diets and waistlines, they couldn't be more different. Hayley is incredibly focused about what she eats, whereas Rob just eats mindlessly. I'm hoping that their time in the feeding clinic will show them how extreme their diets have become.
Mortgage advisor Hayley Payne from Suffolk may be the same age as Rob, but incredibly she's almost 30 stone lighter at only 6 stone 12. That's because she's always on the go and eating barely gets a look in.
Food completely takes a backseat in my life. It's something that I know you have to do to keep alive, but it's a bit of an inconvenience for me because it takes up my time. I run on quite a lot of nervous energy. The day I stop will be the day I crash.
In fact, hyperactive Hayley gets through the day on just spoonfuls of sugar and copious cups of tea.
I love tea, an awful lot.
And come the evening, any remaining energy is spent on cooking for others, especially new husband Chris.
I tend to like to pile his plate up quite a lot because I like to see that he's eating a good amount. Mine tends to be a third of what he eats.
Yeah, Hayley's portion's always fit for a sparrow, whereas mine is enough for an elephant to eat. I'm surprised I'm not 20 stone, the way I eat.
Hayley married Chris 6 months ago, but the realisation she'd become a bony bride has prompted her to want to change her ways.
My wedding day was definitely the biggest day of my whole life. I felt like I was the one that let it down by being so skinny.
Hayley's now at risk of damaging her health and being infertile, and obviously as a newly married couple, there's something we discuss, children and things like that.
I want people to look at me and think I'm healthy because I do want to have a family in the future. So massively determined just to start to feel healthy and get my life sorted, really.
Joining Hayley in Dr. Christian's feeding clinic is Rob. He's attempting to break his own dangerous dietary habits by swapping diets with Hayley, whose unwillingness to eat is putting her health at risk. First up, it's breakfast, and for Hayley, it's one of Rob's gargantuan fry-ups, whilst Rob is served up just 2 cups of tea.
The portions here are huge. Even if I was having this for an evening meal, there is no way on this earth I'd have this much food. This is rank. Do you not worry about in the future, though, if you keep eating like this?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're the same age as me, aren't you?
Yes,
Yeah, same.
I have to be honest, you do look a lot older.
Thanks.
I can't believe you don't have anything for breakfast or something till this afternoon. I can't believe how you got energy. How you got energy?
It's day one in the feeding clinic for Superskinny Hayley and Supersize Rob. They're swapping diets in the hope that seeing someone else tackle their impossible portions will kick-start them into a healthier way of eating. It's lunchtime.
Oh my goodness.
As she's presented with a huge dinner of roast beef, potatoes, mash, carrots, peas and gravy, whilst Rob has to be content with a salami stick.
Basically, I was given, for my lunch, long, thin salami meat. That was it. One. It's really hard to chew this with 60.
Just suck on it, it'll last even longer.
The sparring continues across the dinner table.
Are you not looking at this thinking you wish you had some of this?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Not even hungry?
No.
OK. Every day you have a cooked meal for lunch, do you?
That's why I have one day a week. But I have about a few times a week I cook dinner.
A few times a week?
Yeah.
One thing that Rob can't deny is his sweet tooth. And for Hayley, there are 3 desserts: Bakewell tarts, trifle and crumble. All with cream, of course.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
Thank you very much. How do you feel that you haven't got anything?
I'm fine. Honestly, I am fine.
It's a testing meal for food dodger Hayley.
Are you enjoying that?
This is my last spoonful.
Have another one after that.
No, this is my last
No, have another one. You meant to teach me a diet.
OK.
Hayley's last meal of the day is a double helping of Thai green curry with rice and a glass of cola, whilst Rob's meal is slightly less substantial: a slice of goat's cheese and a sweet.
I can't believe how small you eat this.
I was clearly just busy.
Busy?
Mm-hmm.
Hayley got me basically an empty plate with a slab of goat's cheese of that size and a sweet about that size. Oh, are you trying to kill me off?
I think you are.
Are you going to eat it all?
I'd love to say yes, but I don't think there's many people in this world that could eat that much proportion for dinner.
It's quite shocking how much you eat. Let's be frank.
But having been confronted with her measly diet, which is putting her chances of having children in danger, Hayley's begun to grasp the need for change.
So far, I'm learning that I am capable of eating food. No one's making me not eat. It's purely down to me, and my excuses are rubbish at the moment. I need to start looking after myself.
She needs to push herself a bit further. And tomorrow I think she will do it. Morning. All right?
Very well, thank you.
Fancy some toast?
It's day 2 in the feeding clinic, and while Rob sits down to a solitary cup of tea, Hayley attempts a sugar-loaded blend of toast with jam, 6 chocolate biscuits, orange juice and more cola.
How are you enjoying your tea?
How can you see this is energy to start your day?
I get that. It's rubbish.
Yeah. I've always been taught breakfast is the most important meal. You can't call this a breakfast.
No. After having my toast and stuff, I've started to perk up a little bit. So really strangely, in a completely backward way, it has shown me that breakfast does actually perk you up a little bit as well. My energy levels now have actually started to increase after breakfast, which is a really, really nice feeling.
Time for their last supper, and Rob and Hayley are turning a corner in their attitudes towards food. Hayley is served a huge helping of 2 portions of chicken curry with rice and chips, whilst Rob gets to tuck into 2 chicken drumsticks and a pile of crisps.
Are you going to eat much of that?
Yeah, I think I will. Do you think you're going to be satisfied after eating that?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It's actually filling me up.
Is it?
Mm.
I found this meal so much easier than food yesterday. Kind of enjoyed it as well. And felt that I've sort of eaten loads more than I would have done before.
What are you going to eat more of when you leave here?
I think the most important thing I've learned is eating breakfast and lunch. You know, regardless of what it is, to eat something.
I really enjoyed this meal. I'm comfortable, full.
Good. It's really nice to hear.
So the time has come for Hayley and Rob to leave the feeding clinic, armed with their healthy eating plans.
I've gone from barely touching a meal to now not even mentioning it, just getting down and eating it. It was really sort of quite impressive. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Well, goodbye then.
Good luck with everything.
Keep in touch.
See you in a few weeks.
Bye now.
Bye.
It's been 9 weeks since cake-loving Rob and chronic food dodger Hayley left the feeding clinic. But hyperactive Hayley's not been running around quite as much just lately.
I'm on crutches because I ran up the stairs without turning and ran straight into a wall and, yeah, broke my toe.
It's time to find out if they've stuck to the healthy eating plans.
Today, I'm hoping to see a good sort of half a stone would be nice. Sort of anything up to that would be fantastic.
So how's it all been going? You're looking very well indeed.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been going really, really well. I've really enjoyed it as well. I started getting more and more hungry, more regularly, which was really different for me.
I mean, clearly you're oozing confidence because you look great.
It's much easier to look in the mirror now rather than seeing sort of skin and bones. I'm actually sort of seeing a bit more of a shape, which is lovely.
You mentioned that you'd quite like to have children in the future. Do you feel that you have a more healthy base from which to do that now?
Yeah, I mean, before it really worried me. I wanted to have it as part of my future plans. Now, as I'm really getting the hang of looking after myself, I know that's definitely going to be able to be in my future.
That's really good to hear. Good, I'm delighted. Thanks, Hayley.
Thank you very much for your help. Hello.
Before their results, Rob and Hayley are reunited.
How are you doing?
All right, how are you doing? You looking well?
Thank you. You look really healthy.
And you're looking young as well.
Oh, thank you.
Right, Rob, you old charmer, you. Listen to you go at her. Doesn't she look great?
Yeah, she does.
I think you've both done me proud. I have to say, I'm going to put you out of your misery right at the beginning and tell you you've done all right, both of you. Hayley, I'm going to start off with you, and you've put on 6 pounds, which is amazing, and 3 inches around your hips, and you're going to love this one. 2 inches on your boobs. Happy?
Yeah,
I thought you would be. And you ain't done so bad either, mister. I was worried about you, Rob. I'll be honest. I thought the sense of denial that you had was so big, but you've done all right. You've lost 1 stone, 10 pounds. You're getting on for 2 stone already, and 10 inches you've lost off your tummy.
Really?
And 5 from around your thighs, which is amazing.
Yeah.
3 inches on my hips and 2 inches on my boobs. That is exactly what I wanted. I said boobs and bum, that's all I'm after, so I'm really, really chuffed with that.
1 year ago, 6 stone 12 Hayley survived on a diet of tea and sugar, totalling just 850 calories a day.
What does your partner say about all this?
He always says he loves me, whatever, but he wants me to be healthy as well.
12 months on, we're back to see if Hayley has ditched her terrible diet for good.
Yeah, now I feel like a completely different person.
Hayley's eating habits have gone from virtually extinct to healthy portions.
Since I left the feeding clinic, we obviously got given a diet plan, which I followed to the letter.
Hayley, breakfast ready.
Breakfast with a cereal bar in the morning and a yoghurt. Then lunchtime will be a sandwich, a yoghurt, a packet of crisps and some fruit. And in the evening it'd be meat and vegetables or potatoes. Chris started making my breakfast, which was great. And then he'd pack my food for the rest of the day. I just couldn't face it.
See ya. Bye. Have a nice day.
And it was just kind of constantly being badgered. Chris would ring up and say, did you have your lunch? I packed, and the support's been incredible.
What about those spoons of sugar and cups of tea?
I haven't probably had a spoonful of sugar since leaving the feeding clinic. Cut down my cups of tea, so I enjoy a cup of tea. I don't just have it just to kind of keep me going. But yeah, no more sugar.
When Hayley checked into the feeding clinic, there was one very important reason for change.
I wanted to fall pregnant, and the only way I was going to fall pregnant was to eat. I love eating now. I've got so much more energy than I did before. And to top it off, you know, I'm now expecting a baby, which is fantastic. We've been getting things for months now, just to make sure that everything's done. We've got some lovely little outfits. I love my daddy, he's my hero. We've got a play mat here that we've bought for him. We've got a cot here that's ready to go up, but still in its box. Yeah, being in the nursery, it makes me realise that we've actually kind of achieved that goal. We're going to have a little boy come in, and yeah, I couldn't be more excited.
Hayley's husband, Chris, also couldn't be happier.
She's got that sparkle back in her eyes again. I'm so proud of her, it's unbelievable. Not only has she put on weight, she's put on baby weight as well. So exciting, it's brilliant, absolutely wonderful.
I love my new life. It's brilliant. New life is great. I really enjoy it every day. It's just fun. And so, you know, long may it continue.
By 2020, it's predicted that a third of adults in the UK will be obese. In some American towns, they've already hit this frightening statistic. Dr. Christian has come to the fat fatherland, investigating the shocking reality of life in one of America's fattest cities, Evansville, Indiana.
Because patients here are getting bigger and bigger, regular ambulances can no longer cope to transport them. So the hospitals have had to call in the services of these new Supersize ambulances to transfer their obese and super obese patients.
This bariatric ambulance, or jumbulance, is 1.5 times bigger than a normal American ambulance, costs $250,000 and can cope with patients weighing up to 100 stone. In the UK, bariatric vehicles are already hitting streets across the country.
So I'm just following the bariatric ambulance as it goes to pick up a lady. She's super morbidly obese. She needs to come into hospital for some treatment because she's got terrible swelling, edema, water retention in her legs.
The lady in question is 48-year-old Stacey, weighing in at around 35 stone. Getting her to hospital is no mean feat. Stacey is harnessed to a supersized double stretcher.
You feel secure, safe?
Yeah.
Before being lifted by a specialist winch that's usually used to recover broken-down cars. Looking after Stacey is lymphedema therapist Stephanie Retter, who's going to be gently massaging the huge quantity of fluid that's built up in Stacey's legs back into her upper body.
Did you ever imagine you'd need all of this?
Sometimes I wish I didn't have all this fluid, because it does cause a lot of problems.
You who work on the front lines dealing with it, why do you think it's happening?
Too much convenience and not enough self-responsibility in many cases. I think that we've all just succumbed to fast food and we drive our car 2 blocks down the road instead of walking.
Do you think you're reaching crisis point with all this?
I think we're reaching a crisis level and it's getting worse.
That's a frightening thought.
And with a fast food joint on every corner, there's a lot to tempt the people of Evansville. So where do they seek redemption? Evansville falls within America's Bible Belt and has even more churches than it does restaurants. So the parishioners of Bethel Temple have decided to call on God's help to win the city's battle against the bulge by mixing fitness with faith.
Thank you, Lord. We pray that you will give strength and energy as the people in this room are working on body, mind, and spirit.
Amen. Amen. All right, so we've got God in our souls, our spirits. Is everybody ready to work out? Yeah!
Well, here you go. I have seen it all now. Jesus and weight loss. Why not?
We're doing joy jumps. We're doing power praises, prayer arms like this. You're looking up to God. We feel that God can empower you to do maybe more than what you would have been able to do otherwise. Lift your knee up.
What do you get out of this?
Helping me lose weight.
Why the gospel and the weight loss? How do they work together?
Because God's there helping you get through it.
I like the fellowship. I want to be healthier, and they don't judge you for being overweight, and they encourage you, and they're with you every step of the way.
Woo! Lift your knee up.
Well, I have to admit, not being a religious man, I was a little bit sceptical about this. But you know what? This was a good, high-energy, keep-fit class. And if you live in a country where you eat the sorts of foods that they have here, you need to be doing this regularly. And this is just what these guys are doing. It's perfect.
Back in the UK, Dr. Christian's continuing his own efforts to kick 8 Supersizers and 8 Superskinnies into shape. And he's ready to pair up the next 2 willing victims.
So, Geoff, I'm going to pair you up with Josh. Come on.
Hey, Josh.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, yes.
I cannot believe the difference.
In Rotherham, that's a toothpick.
I don't know much about Geoff's diet yet, but I'm hoping the plate isn't as big as his belly.
Geoff lives on an excess of carbs and comfort food, whereas Josh's favourite food choice is sugary sweets. I'm hoping that by bringing these 2 extremes together, they're going to learn from each other that there is a healthy middle ground.
Morning in Rotherham, and it's breakfast time for 49-year-old Geoff Milton.
Hello, love. Can I have a large piece, please?
There you go.
I can't explain it. I can't explain why I would be this weight with the food I eat. I view it as quite a healthy diet, to be honest. Nothing, not too excessive.
But the scales disagree, and Geoff weighs in at a mighty 30 stone 12 pounds.
My normal lunch would be several sandwiches, probably 4 or 5 slices of bread, maybe 6 sometimes.
Geoff loves a loaf, and it doesn't stop at lunch.
If there's a period where I'm having to wait for a meal, I'll have just something just to keep me going. But nothing too great, maybe just, a small sandwich.
I don't think it is a lot of bread. I think it's just a lot of everything.
Geoff, however, hasn't always been this big.
There's been 2 periods when I've lost a lot of weight. In the 1980s, I lost 10 stone. I went from 25 stone down to 15 stone. And recently, I went down from about 35 stone to about 25 stone, 24 stone.
But Geoff's 10 stone weight loss was short-lived. Last year, he took redundancy. And if being without a job wasn't stressful enough, both Geoff and his wife Joanne fell ill, leaving Geoff housebound.
When I found myself stuck at home for months on end, I went down the path of putting weight on again.
I think Geoff's a comfort eater, and I thought, I'll have another slice of bread.
I'm really suffering. My knees are killing me all the time now. I don't think they're really designed to have 30-odd stone bearing down on them. I need to lose this weight. But a lot of friends I know who are a lot smaller than me, who have never had a weight issue, eat twice what I eat. I really don't understand the size that I am.
But before the feeding clinic doors open, Dr. Christian's prescribed Geoff a supersized wake-up call in America, in the form of 39 stone Texan Alan Yoder.
I can't walk to the end of the yard without getting exhausted. I can't stand in the kitchen and cook the meal. You're sitting on the porcelain throne and you're so big that you have to try 4 times as hard as a normal person just to get yourself clean.
Geoff's been sent to meet Alan for a large dose of his future, should he continue denying his dreadful diet.
Hi, I'm Alan. I'm Geoff, nice to meet you.
And to make sure Geoff takes every drop of his American medicine, Dr. Christian's also en route.
I hope really this is going to give him the incentive that he needs to make sure that he gets it right this time and that weight stays off now for the rest of his life.
It may be hard to believe, but in 2001, Alan had his stomach stapled.
I went from a high of 42 stone all the way down to a 15 or a 16 stone in about 16, 17 months.
A mammoth weight loss of 27 stone. But even bariatric surgery couldn't stop this food fan. A few years later, Alan had munched his way out of his stomach staple back to morbid obesity and into a heap of health problems.
I've been recently diagnosed with sleep apnea, and it's meaning when I'm trying to sleep, I can't breathe because the weight is bearing down on the lungs and I'm not getting enough oxygen. I have Barrett's disease, which is essentially it's an erosion of the esophagus, and that's because I'm eating so much food that it won't fit in my stomach, and so it's up on the esophagus, and that acid is literally not only digesting the food, it's digesting me.
Just as they sit down for a supersized lunch, Dr. Christian appears.
How are you? Surprise?
You did surprise me.
Geoff.
Yeah, hello.
Alan, I'm Christian.
Alan.
Nice to meet you.
Dr. Christian wants to show Geoff just how being in denial has damaged Alan's health.
So you're rattling with the amount of pills you're taking. You have got various blood pressure things here. Frusemide, I mean, that's a water pill. That makes you pee off extra fluid and keep your blood pressure under control.
Helps with the edema in my legs.
And with the edema in your legs. Geoff, have a look at this. If I just push hard on here for a while and then let go, you've just got a nice fingerprint in there that's going to stay there for a little while. And what I've done is just pushed all the fluid out of the tissues.
It's a matter of gravity. You know, you're standing up, the fluid's down there, your heart's got to pump that up. And since it's already pumping through all the rest of this, it just can't do a good job of getting it out of your legs. And so you get this.
Only 8 stone behind Alan and catching up quickly, Dr. Christian's hoping Geoff has now seen enough.
See, it has been challenging, and there's been that constant nagging thought in my head that, you know, I'm not too far behind him on the route. And
I want you to acknowledge that bit, because I think it's very easy to go, America, another world, another country, big person, not me, you know. And actually, it is very, very much your future if you don't change this.
Geoff's time in Texas is up.
I've experienced some thought-provoking stuff on the trip. It's hammered home the fact that there needs to be changes, yeah.
It was good for both of us. Sometimes the best medicine doesn't taste good.
Back in the UK, the feeding clinic is ready and waiting for Supersize Geoff and Superskinny Josh. Dr. Christian's hoping the shock of seeing each other consume their shocking diets will spur this duo into changing their ways. The 2-day diet swap starts here. Eating an average of 4 loaves of bread a week, Geoff is a colossal 17 stone overweight, putting him at risk of a heart attack, stroke and type 2 diabetes.
So where do you think you're going wrong currently with your diet?
Oh, if I knew that answer, I suppose I'd have the secret to stop all this, but...
I mean, there's only one thing that makes you fat, and it's food. I'm just going to read out from your food diary the times during the day when you ate.
Yeah.
OK, listen to this. 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
Yeah.
11:45. 12 o'clock. 12:30.
Yeah.
12:45.
Yeah.
6:30. 7. 11.
Yeah.
Midnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
OK? So you are definitely constantly grazing. There's stuff going in all the time. So you are definitely overeating. In ways that I think you're not realising.
Yeah, I can't argue with the fact that I'm definitely overeating somewhere.
At 30 stone 12 pounds, we've calculated Geoff's consuming 4,464 calories a day, 1,000 of which are just on snacks, nearly Josh's entire intake of 1,300 calories a day. It's time Supersize and Superskinny swap diets. And Geoff's day starts off reasonably well. A big bowl of cereal with semi-skimmed milk versus nothing.
Unfortunately for you, I don't eat breakfast.
Don't you?
No. It just seems to be a never-ending bowl of cornflakes.
Josh gets there in the end, but breakfast isn't over yet.
Sometimes when my wife comes in later, I'll do a breakfast for a little bacon sandwich.
Little?
Buns one each. Well, little, yeah.
I'm a bit speechless. And it smells.
It's mainly for the wife, but I'll join in because it'd be rude not to. So enjoy, tuck in.
After that big bowl of cereal just an hour before, Josh is finding it tough tucking in.
You have a standard breakfast,
Yes.
which is a bowl of cornflakes, and you're not meant to then go and have another breakfast.
Yeah, well, as I said, I wouldn't do it every day. This is not a daily thing. I do like them. I like the taste of a bacon sandwich. Bacon and egg, bacon and tomato. Bacon, egg and tomato.
Geoff on empty, Josh on full. Will there be any let-up at lunch?
There you go, Josh. A nice sandwich for your dinner. There you go.
No respite for Josh.
Well,
it's not as big as my arm.
And for Geoff...
I'm afraid I don't usually have lunch, so that's why you've got nothing.
Oh, well, bloody hell. It's little wonder you're thin then.
4 o'clock, and for the first time there's something on the menu for Geoff. So it's coffee with 3 sugars versus 2 ham sandwiches.
And this is just another snack.
Well, this was, well, basically, yes, if it would be a... Yes. Yeah.
Can't do it. I actually can't do it. I can't do it.
It didn't seem that much during the day. I dread to think what the next thing, because I honestly can't remember. I just hope we didn't go to the chippy that night, because it'll kill him off.
It's dinner time. Josh gets a cheesy pizza and salad, whilst Geoff is given a chicken burger and fries.
Well, actually, I don't feel very hungry.
Josh may have successfully polished off the cheesy pizza, but day 1 isn't over yet.
Josh, you awake? I've got a bowl of cornflakes for you.
Are you joking?
No.
And I'm hating this.
The late-night snack hasn't gone down well.
I can't stay in bed. I can't stay in bed. I need to go out.
Day 2 of the diet swap, and breakfast is 4 slices of wholemeal toast versus a bag of sweets.
I mean, you had 6 meals yesterday. 6 meals. I don't understand how someone could eat that at 1 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't you satisfied from your tea?
It wasn't the satisfied job. It was just I was watching the telly or whatever it was that night, and I had it. You know.
So you didn't need it?
No, didn't need it. Don't need half the stuff. You know, it's just too much. The volume's too much. The quantities are too much. The frequency's too much. Hands up. And I can see that now from the way I've been throwing food at you for the last 2 days.
It's the last supper for Geoff and Josh. It's a porker portion of shepherd's pie and peas versus pepperoni pizza.
Wow, our last meal. I am a little bit shocked. Before we came downstairs to the dining room, and I was thinking, I'm actually hungry for food, not for sweets, for food. And that's like an experience that I've never felt before.
Say you're 22, 23, it's a big thing, that, isn't it? If you've never really felt hungry for food before. So, well, in that case, it's congratulations.
Josh is ploughing through his shepherd's pie no problem, and the last 48 hours have had a positive effect on Geoff's appetite too.
Actually, I'm struggling with this.
Now that's what you call a super skinny beating a supersize.
Diet swap done.
I think it's finally hit home that the amount of food that I eat is putting on the pounds, so I've got to now get it off once and for all. Well, it's been nice meeting you.
You too, that's
See
it.
you in a couple of months.
There you go. Take care.
Cheers. No worries.
It's been 11 weeks since bread-loving Geoff and sweetaholic Josh left the feeding clinic. It's time to find out if they've stuck to their healthy eating plans.
Slightly nervous, looking forward to seeing officially what I've done. I've got a little target in my head which I want to go for, and hopefully I'll achieve that. That'll be a nice surprise today, yeah.
So how's it been, Geoff?
It's been good. I've not been hungry at any time. I've ate well, and I feel as though I'm losing weight.
When you were in the feeding clinic, there was possibly a slight sense of denial or not really understanding why the weight was going on and where you were going wrong. What do you think about that now?
I was doing it wrong, and I wasn't accepting that I was doing it wrong, and the effect of that was the weight.
That's good. I mean, you had a lot of work to do, essentially, didn't you? And particularly up here, I think, thinking about why and really accepting that you weren't always getting it right. And that's a difficult thing to do, you know, and it sounds like you've done it, and I hope it's working well. We'll find out.
Time for the gents to be reunited.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Very well. How the devil are you?
Okay, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. How are you doing?
Yes, I can instantly see a major improvement.
Can you? Oh, good stuff, yes. You look as though you put a bit of bulk on, so, you know, you look fuller in the face.
Right, gang, here I am. Happy to see each other again?
Yeah, brilliant, yes.
You were talking about you see us put it on in his face. I agree with you. How much would you have liked to put on?
I would have liked around half a stone.
I'm afraid you've come just short of putting on a stone.
That's amazing.
Astounding. And not only that, you've added 3 inches to your chest, and you've added 2 inches around your arms. So it's fantastic. Really well done.
Well done, mate.
Well done. That's amazing.
What would you have hoped for, do you think?
A couple of stone.
I think we can probably do a little bit better than that.
Excellent.
You've lost 2 stone and 5 pounds.
Excellent. Oh, I'm pleased with that.
Not only that, but you've lost something else as well. You've lost 8 inches around your tummy.
That would explain the baggy trousers, I suppose.
That would explain why you're having to walk holding your trousers.
Yeah,
and that's amazing. I couldn't have asked, actually, for better results from either of you. You've done me proud. Thank you.
2 stone, 5 pounds. Really pleased with that. That's more than what I would have expected. Also, 8 inch off my waist. I mean, that's another good thing as well. So, yeah, excellent. Really pleased with that.
1 year ago, Supersize Geoff checked into the feeding clinic. He was eating his way through 4,464 calories a day.
I mean, there's only one thing that makes you fat, and it's food.
Now, Geoff's ditched the daily bread and weighs in at 28 stone. That's nearly 3 stone less than when he first entered the feeding clinic.
Since the feeding clinic, I've been very positive in my outlook. The diet, again, I don't call it a diet. It's the change in lifestyle is working really well. I don't go hungry.
Calorie-savvy Geoff is now in control of his daily diet.
Breakfast, porridge or a muesli bar or maybe a banana, something that goes with that. Lunch, it'll be pre-packed salad, and in the evening meal, we'll have the spaghetti bolognese, we'll have the stew, the steaks and things like that with the salad or something.
And what about all that bread?
100 calories for a slice of bread. That was the biggest shock, because I was simply unaware that it was 100 calories, and I was having half a loaf a day. So that's 1,000 to 1,500 calories purely on bread. So that was ignorance. That was just purely total ignorance. The bread I've knocked on the head, and the snacking of the bread has stopped completely.
Getting active has brought positive changes to Geoff's life.
I am more active. Now I feel as though I've got a bit more energy again for the weekend. I've come back to the swimming now, and you know, and I'm slowly increasing it. I'm getting up to about 50 odd lengths now. We're nearly at the mile now, and that's in one session.
A year ago, Geoff wasn't working, and he spent his 9 to 5 getting stuck into food.
When I was at home, the fridge was literally 10 foot away. That is always a temptation. Since I left the feeding clinic, I'm with a new job with the Environment Agency. Thoroughly enjoying it, feel a lot more content in myself. If you're happy in yourself and you're happy with what you're doing, then there's no comfort eating involved there.
Geoff's wife Joanne has seen his weight yo-yo before, so does she believe that this time the weight loss will last?
I think that this diet is more healthy than previous diets that he's ever been on. Seems to be losing weight. I've noticed a difference in that. So certainly watching what he eats. I don't think Geoff will yo-yo diet again. I think it's set for life.
A new job and a new outlook has helped Geoff with his diet overhaul. and he's learning that slow and steady wins the race.
I know I've got that confidence that I've got a control over what I eat. I'm doing things right, and I know I'm on target, and I'm doing things as I should be doing.
Next week, from the terrible twos to the terrible teens, all the tips and tricks a parent needs to win the battle of bedtime. Bedtime Live, brand new, next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Past my bedtime, that. Next tonight, bedtime must be a nightmare for the 16 kids and counting.